I don't want to get banned, so I have to be careful how I say this story, because I don't want to get deplatformed. I don't want the feminists or the misogynist crew or anyone to come after me. I'm just going to tell you all a little story. Once I was dating a girl I fucking hated. I hated everything about her. I didn't like her opinions. I didn't like what she said. I didn't like her attitude. She was arrogant. She was rude to the waiters. I just didn't like her, but she was very good looking. And I was sitting there thinking, I don't like this person, which is actually quite rare for me. I know you're all sitting there thinking I'm a hate-filled guy. I'm the opposite of hate-filled. I'm apathetic. I'm like, whatever. I don't care about anyone else. I'm extremely selfish. It's all about me, and that's why my life's so fantastic. So it takes a lot of energy for me to hate someone. We were on a date, and she was extremely rude to the staff, and she was like rude to me, extremely arrogant when she'd achieved nothing. She was just born hot. Like, I just didn't like anything about that person. So anyway, but she was hot. So it was kind of a weird dynamic. Every time I dated her, I'd think, I don't want to date this girl again. And then I'd be talking to her and she'd humble herself just enough to squeeze another date out of me. Most of you dorks, most of you dudes out here are trying to fuck anything you can get. At the top, I reject far more girls than I ever sleep with. This is what happens when you're like a millionaire athlete, blah, blah, blah. Don't want to brag or nothing, but we all know it's true. So you turn down a lot of girls. So I'm sitting there thinking, does this girl deserve dick or not? Whatever. Anyway, I went to the club. Me and Tristan do something called a wrangle. When we go to the club, we do wrangling. So we wrangle girls. So it's just like any and all girls for the table. So we wrangled. I invited her. She turns up to the club, drinking, whatever. Ends up back at the house. And what happened afterwards was probably, I wouldn't say it's one of the worst things I ever done, but when I told this story, everyone was like, whoa, you can't do that. But I did it. So we're having sex, me and this chick, and halfway through, I remembered all the time she annoyed me on dates. And halfway through, I stopped and said, I've changed my mind. I'm laughing. She was like, what? I changed my mind. I just decided I don't want to anymore. I changed my mind. Now, if a girl does that to a guy, that's fine. If a girl says, no, stop, and you carry on, you're a rapist. They can do it all the time. But because I did it to a girl, when I told some people, they all lost their minds. You can't do that. Why can't I do that? Because I've destroyed her self-esteem? Well, she goes, well, what do you mean you changed your mind? I was like, maybe get dressed and go or stay. I don't know. It's up to you, but I've changed my mind. I don't want to anymore. She's like, why? I was like, I don't know. I just don't want to. I didn't tell her because I don't like her as a person and because she's nasty inside. I didn't tell her that. I mean, she's hot. But now I've seen her titties. I played with her titties a bit. Fucked her a bit. Like, I don't want to. Like, I'm done now. I've seen it. I don't like you. I don't want to. So I stopped. I went to the bathroom, came back. She's getting dressed in a mood. Already called her Uber, on the verge of tears. I was like, look, you can be angry if you want. I don't want you to be angry or anything. I just changed my mind. I hope you get home. Message me when you get home safe. Off you go. And then obviously she left and then my girlfriend came around to finish it up. So when I told people this, everyone's like, oh, you can't do that. You can't do that. Oh, pure evil, all this shit. So basically they're saying I've destroyed her self-confidence and destroyed her self-esteem and I shouldn't have done what I did. But girls can do that kind of shit to men all the time. So when I told this story, one guy said to me, I'm going to start doing that as a matter of habit. And I do not recommend that. I'm not saying you should do that as a matter of habit. But perhaps you need a nuclear weapon. Perhaps out there, guys, you're dating some girl and you don't like her. You don't like anything about her. And you just want to do something truly evil for once in your life. If you want to destroy her self-esteem, if you want to make her afraid to ever have sex with a new guy ever again, if you want her to look in the mirror and say, what's wrong with me? Well, is it my tits? Is it my face? Do I need a new nose? Do you want to inspire a girl to get fucking facial surgery and mess with her face and fillers and just destroy her self-confidence, especially these Instagram girls, because all they're based on is how they look. If you want to destroy a female from the inside out, that's how you do it. So this girl, that's not the end of the story. This girl, we were texting a little bit afterwards. She was trying to get to the bottom of why I decided to stop. She couldn't understand. Like, she must have spent time staring in the mirror and being like, am I ugly? What did you not like about me? Am I ugly? Am I ugly? Because girls can't stand being ugly. We live in a very shallow society, especially for females. They base their entire self-worth on how they look. And I was like, no, look, I just changed my mind. There's no secret. I just changed my mind. You're a nice person. I wish you the best. Bye. And the fact I didn't want to ever see her again drove her nuts. I couldn't stand it. So she tried for a very long time to get another date out of me, to try and, it was a weird power dynamic. Because she was trying to get another date out of me, but I know if I would have gone on that date, she would have never slept with me. That would have been her revenge, wasting my time on dates. So every time she tried to hint at a date, I just refused to go. So she was texting me for a long time. She couldn't get over it. She's probably still not over it. How can you get over it? Halfway through, sorry, I changed my mind. I shouldn't laugh. Anyway, But this girl ended up having loads of surgery. She was quite natural before. She ended up having fake tits and a nose job and like Botox in her face and lip injections, all this crazy shit. And I'm starting to, and when I saw, this is a few years ago, but I saw her a few months ago on Instagram, she said, all this work done. And I think that might be my fault. I think I might have destroyed her self-esteem, and then she went down the surgery avenue and just spent loads and loads of money to try and feel better. And she doesn't look as good now as she did then. She's ruined herself, really, and maybe it is my fault, but I don't give a fuck, so.